It's Professor Monty. Let's look at slope-intercept form of a line. Okay, so slope-intercept form looks like y equals mx plus b. That's the form that we're going to refer to as slope-intercept form of a line, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Now, as a point, this would be the point 0, comma b, because remember the y-intercept always has an x value of 0. So let's look at some examples. Find the slope and the y-intercept. First, they give us the equation y equals 3x minus 5. Well, it's in that form, so the number multiplied by the x is the slope. So that's going to be m, and the y-intercept is the constant all by itself. That's going to be b. So in this case, so that's the y-intercept. This one's the slope. So when it says, what's the slope? Oh, the slope is just the number 3. The y-intercept is this number, the negative 5, or as a point, they would write it 0, negative 5. However the book or your teacher wants you to write it is the way you want to write it. But it crosses the y-intercept or the y-axis down at negative 5, which is the point 0, negative 5. Okay, so that's the idea there. What if they just say y equals x? A little bit more difficult. Well, what's the slope? Well, remember this is 1x. And I can actually write this as 1x plus 0. That's the same as y equals x. So this time the slope is 1 and the y-intercept is 0. So the slope 1, the y-intercept 0, or again as a point 0, 0. The y-intercept, remember, to find it, you just plug in the value x equals 0. Oh, if x equals 0, y also equals 0. So that's why it was the point 0, 0. Now this one's not written in this form. We have to write it in the form y equals mx plus b. In other words, solve for y. So I want to get rid of this 2x. I'll subtract 2x from both sides. I want the x before the constant, so I'm going to write it as negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 12, as opposed to 12 minus 2x. But then I need to get rid of the negative 3. It's multiplied by the y, so I have to divide. But remember, if I divide this piece by negative 3, I have to divide all the pieces by negative 3. And so I get y equals 2/3 x minus 4. And again, here's my slope, here's my y-intercept. So if you want to call it m, you want to write slope, you want to call it b, you want to call it, or you go m, which is the slope, or y-intercept, which is b, whichever way you want to write it. But no, oh, m is the coefficient of x, in this case 2/3, and b is the negative 4, or again as a point 0, negative 4. All right, so real easy. Learn this form, memorize the y equals mx plus b, which isn't really hard to memorize, but we're going to use this a lot for lines as we go forward in this class and in classes to follow.